When you ask 10 people to mention their top 5 fast food restaurants, I bet you at least 6 would throw in Burger King somewhere on the list. It's been there our whole lives, providing us with our comfort food goodies like the good old Whoppers. And it's also probably one of the most famous and successful fast food restaurants in the US, so why not? However, 7 decades later, this once mighty fast food chain is now on the verge of extinction. Hundreds of stores are facing closure, a steep decline in revenue, and some of its biggest operators have filed for bankruptcy. Could this really be the end for Burger King? Let's find out. A closer look at Burger King's struggles. With its extensive network of nearly 20,000 outlets worldwide, Burger King has long been a heavyweight in the fast food arena, boasting a significant chunk of its parent company RBI's hefty $40 billion in total sales in 2022. Since its public debut in 2014, the company's journey has been impressive, with share prices soaring from around $40 to over $76 by June 2023. Talk about a cash cow. But hey, no success story comes without its bumps, right? Lately though, Burger King's been feeling the heat from its rivals. Seems like their menu got a bit too complicated. Their joints are feeling a bit dated, and they're moving slower than molasses on a cold day. Still hanging in there as the 3rd biggest burger slinger, but they've slipped down to 7th place in the fast food pecking order, trailing behind the likes of McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, and Wendy's in 2022. And things weren't looking too peachy in 2023 either. The troubles seemed to escalate, with revenue on a downward spiral and consumer interest waning. The situation reached a critical point, marked by the unfortunate bankruptcy filings of 3 major Burger King operators. Franchisees across Ohio, Utah, and Michigan grappled with serious cash flow issues and dwindling sales, leading to the impending closure of around 400 locations. To tackle the downturn, Burger King's executives have taken decisive action, shutting down 124 underperforming outlets between January and May, with an additional 63 restaurants. These closures show the company's efforts to streamline operations and focus on restoring its brand image in the fiercely competitive fast food industry. But is this enough to give Burger King its much-needed facelift? History. Let's fully understand where the troubles lie. Back in 1954, it all began as Insta Burger King, focusing on speedy service rather than long waits. By 1957, they introduced their iconic 37-cent Whopper burger, and soon after, franchises started sprouting up everywhere. With stiff competition from other burger chains like McDonald's, Jack in the Box, White Castle, and Wendy's, the race to the top was on. McDonald's even threw down the gauntlet with their forever Whopper rival, the Big Mac, in the late 1960s. In 1967, Burger King was acquired by Pillsbury, making a shift from a small operation to part of a larger food conglomerate. The subsequent years saw ownership changes, with Pillsbury, Grand Metropolitan plc, Guinness plc, and eventually TPG Capital taking the reins in 2002. Despite their efforts, Burger King hit a rough patch, even losing a whopping $868 million in 2003. Things got even crazier when Burger King went public in 2006, but their sales roller coaster left investors scratching their heads. Seeking stability, they went back to being privately owned by 3G Capital in 2010. But even with all these changes, Burger King still couldn't catch a break.
Is there what other segments of the quick service restaurant industry we might want to be involved in?
Forming Restaurant Brands International, RBI. This move aimed to breathe new life into the brand, making RBI the 3rd largest quick service company globally. Yet despite initial success, including rapid expansion and revenue growth, Burger King still struggles to regain its former glory. In fact, service, speed, standards, sanitation, and setups are some of its biggest problems. This caused the road to recovery to remain elusive. Legal battles. With declining sales and cash flow issues, Burger King continues to struggle financially, and franchisees are feeling the squeeze. To try to salvage the situation,
for us to figure out which restaurants have long-term viability, there's a few. Patrick is very much like a franchisee now. He has his own capital invested in RBI.
To make this happen, Burger King's teaming up with creditors and suppliers, and they're even resorting to lawsuits to push for these sales. The company thinks that some franchisees that are trying to reorganize are fighting a losing battle and won't back any efforts to let them hold on to their properties. And they're not messing around. Burger King's ready to take legal action against operators who aren't playing ball to get back about $10 million in unpaid fees. It's all part of a bigger plan by Restaurant Business International, Burger King's parent company, to turn the ship around. They're on the lookout for new operators who can bring back the good times to these struggling spots. Unrealized chances and money woes. Burger King has encountered various challenges that have impacted its growth and competitiveness. One significant setback was its inability to match its competitors' digital capabilities before the pandemic hit. This meant when everyone started ordering online, Burger King wasn't ready to cash in. On top of that, Burger King's money situation isn't great compared to their competitors. The company has struggled to secure financing for important initiatives, like renovating its U.S. franchise stores under the Reclaim the Flame program. While low interest rates could have alleviated some of the pressure, the recent increase in interest rates has only worsened the financial constraints. As a result, Burger King faces difficulties investing in its operations compared to competitors with more financial flexibility. The tightening credit conditions, rising labor costs, supply chain disruptions, and development expenses have significantly strained Burger King's franchisees. Many have experienced challenges such as losing access to credit lines due to exceeding leverage ratios or failing to meet lending requirements. Falling sales and battle for market share. It's been a bumpy road for Burger King, with sales taking a nosedive and competition heating up even faster. Despite efforts to adapt, the chain has struggled to stay afloat amidst changing consumer preferences. Introducing value menus and strategic shifts hasn't yielded the desired results, which only reflects the difficulty in meeting evolving demands. Burger King hasn't been hitting the mark and losing ground to rivals like Wendy's. Yup, they've even slipped from their spot as the second biggest burger chain in the US. So, what factors are causing this steady decline? Well, it seems Burger King's been lagging in the innovation department, with limited menu selection and increasing prices, all of which have left customers dissatisfied. Many have voiced concerns about the quality of offerings and the absence of healthier options, leading to a dwindling base of loyal patrons and a subsequent dip in sales and revenue. Meanwhile, McDonald's and Wendy's have fared better by capitalizing on emerging consumer trends. McDonald's, for example, has seen growth through promotional deals and menu innovations, while Wendy's success lies in its premium offerings that appeal to those seeking higher quality fast food. Poor service quality. At the core of Burger King's challenges lies the critical aspect of service quality, which goes beyond just employee behavior to encompass broader operational and managerial issues. While the fast food giant has struggled to maintain satisfactory service levels, it also faces additional hurdles related to overpriced meals, small portions, and subpar food quality. First up, let's talk about value for money. Many customers feel like they're shelling out a lot for meals that don't quite hit the mark. It's not just about the price tag, it's about feeling like you're getting your money's worth. And when the portions feel a bit on the small side, that's a recipe for disappointment. Then there's the taste factor. We've all had those moments when we bite into a burger and it's just meh. Consistency is key in the fast food game, and unfortunately, Burger King has been missing the mark for some folks. Whether it's inconsistent flavor or just not living up to the hype, taste matters. And let's not forget about the elephant in the room, service. It's not just about being fast, it's about being friendly and efficient. Too often, customers report feeling like they're being rushed through the line or ignored altogether. That's not the kind of experience anyone wants when they're craving a Whopper. So, what's the solution? Burger King needs to take a good hard look at its menu, its prices, and its service. Maybe it's time to shake things up and bring in some fresh flavors or rethink portion sizes. And when it comes to service, investing in staff training and making sure everyone is on the same page could make all the difference. At the end of the day, do you think Burger King has the potential to turn things around?